ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus again, and I'm going to try to take a moment or two and see if I can share some thoughts with you that might be beneficial in one way or another. We're in a political season and all kinds of things are happening. We're hearing people say that they want to do this for you and they want to do that for you. And I'm sure you're hearing nothing new. You may be hearing different faces, but you're hearing the same message. And it has come from Republicans, Democrats, and others. And we are still wanting. And so I take the initiative to step out, and I'm going to try to see if I can make an approach about God in a way that each of you who are listening might be willing to at least finish hearing the message that I have to bring for you. You see, I want to say, allow only God, and I'm speaking to you as individuals, to control your life. So in this political season, rather than vote for Republican or Democrat or other, vote for God. Right in God. You see, let's face some facts. God made the world and other stuff, and it was all good. God made humankind and others. A very good job. So being good in all that God made, that makes God dictator of a good life for everyone. So you allow the entire world to walk its way. But you walk your way, even if it's different from that of the group. But be sure it is of God's way. Walking any way without God is stuff that humankind has enshrined. A Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a Gentile, a Buddha, and all others, as sincere as they may be, they are not of God. Now my proof is found in comparing God's good way for peace, for prosperity, and for joy for every human to that of the creation of humans, which includes crime and violence, terrorism and war, bigotry and hatred. Why do I want to share this with you? I want to share that with you because anyone that knows God's way will take the lead. For whom much is given, much is required. It becomes a duty, it becomes a responsibility. For the message must be given to the poor, it must be given to the criminals, it must be given to the victims, explaining to them why these negatives results and how to overcome them. The message also must be given to the servants in the capacity of officials, the ones making rules and setting policy. They must be instructed about the policies that promote the God outcome. Now, what is the God outcome? First, all things that are common amongst the people that are essential for survival must be met. All things that are common amongst the people that are essential for survival must be met. That's the first part of the God outcome. This includes food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. And to meet such a massive requirement as this, each individual has been equipped with a desire for a career of their own choosing. The common needs, the resources provided from the earth, the careers of humans are the combination that produces the outcome of God and is led by those that reject politics of liberalism, conservatism, Democrats and Republicans, capitalism and communism and socialism. You see, these are the true children of God, traveling through life, reminding the people of the world the truth. Now, there is not a single divine professional institution in the world that will abide by such conduct. And because they don't have it is why they won't do it. Who could teach them? Slave owners? Those that slaughtered the natives? The Masons? The Catholics? Who could teach them? Everyone will act like the rich young ruler that was instructed to give away his entire wealth and give it to the poor as a sign of being born again. He couldn't do it. Neither can the fake God knowers do any better. So what I'm basically saying to you is that all of the churches on earth and all they know about God, none of them would turn their back on the system, a system of the world, a system of mankind. They might be mad, turn their back on, for instance, this country. They might get mad, turn their back on Republicans and go toward Democrats. Or turn their backs on Democrats and go toward Republicans. Or try to pick up something else. But it will be work within the constructs of the system. And that's the way it would happen all over the earth. Even where you got people out there killing themselves because of their faith. And yet attaching themselves to something destructive and evil by killing others. But they're doing it because of their understanding of God. And all of this has to do with man. You see, the true God doesn't have to do that. The true God, those who are led by that Spirit, walk the narrow way. The narrow way. And they go through a narrow gate. They're not attached to the group. They're not attached to the mega churches. They are not attached to the rich, jet-flying church preachers. They are not attached to the ones laying on hands and coming back from the dead kind of preachers. They are attached to the truth that says all of mankind is in darkness. And even you had not something miraculous happen to open up your eyes. And now you have been selected, you have been chosen to exemplify in light conduct amongst a huge world of darkness, God's way, to bring peace to the nations, to bring prosperity to the people, to bring joy to the land. And you are walking alone. So forget about your group. If your group is not walking according to God's plan. And God's plan works for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you the difference between God's plan and your preacher's plan, or your faith plan, or your denomination plan, is that God's plan works for everybody. 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 And that plan working for this group, or that group, or this group, or this group, is from the pit of hell. Bye-bye. Wait. Before I say bye-bye, let me challenge you. You're 100 million people in America or more that say you're born again or have some attachment to the church and you believe God. I say it doesn't mean anything to God. That little stuff that you do under the auspices of being a Christian or somebody that's born again is nothing. when you compare with what it's supposed to be like and what it will produce. So, I'm going to challenge you. You've been what you are most of your life, and you see what it has achieved, what it has accomplished. I'm going to challenge you to try something else. I'm going to try to get you to try God. You got a Republican, it doesn't matter which one, they're going to offer you some views. You got a Democrat, it doesn't matter which one, they're going to offer you some views. Maybe some would be more acceptable or wanting than others. But in the bottom line, they're all going to relieve it. Many, millions of you hurting and scared and panicking. But God's way doesn't do that. Because God's way is fair. It's not worried about a terrorist. God's way is fair. You let somebody move in on somebody that's fair, they're going to get a whoop butt. I'll tell you that. I'll attest to that any day. So, all I'm saying is let's just be fair. Vote God. Vote God. And play this thing back over again so you know what that means. How that peace and prosperity translates into those things that are common amongst each of you. Food, clothes, and shelter, education, health care, and a career of your choosing is guaranteed to every last one of you. And in that, you're producing all the goods. And other things like wants and desires, those are yours. And when you have learned to do these things that are common amongst you, it will teach you the basic principles for accomplishing anything. So anything you want, anything you desire will be at your disposal because you would have learned the secret of life. Now, go to the polls and vote for God. And I guarantee you, if you do that, your heaven will be right here on earth. You will start it here in America. And it will be like wildfires catching all over the world. But there's a possibility that all of you are fake. I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying that there's a possibility. And if you are, those of you who have heard this tape, who don't go to the polls and vote right in God, the only people that will be excused are those people who haven't heard the tape. And the reason you haven't heard the tape is because the fire didn't catch. That means that those who heard it didn't even have enough fire to share it. And so, what you will vote for is what you will get. But don't be blaming it on God. You can blame it on those churches. You can blame it on those preachers. You can blame it on those faiths. You can blame it on those religions. But don't you blame it on God. Before you blame it on God, blame it on yourself. Because God has somebody before you right now speaking to you. But can you hear? I hope so. Bye-bye.